Hey, welcome to World Entertainment, and we're going to do a review of a 6-episode series that has dropped on Netflix called Last Samurai Standing, because this thing was fantastic. Now, it says 6 episodes, but I'm not actually 100% sure whether the first season is just 6 episodes. And the reason I say that is because the very end of the 6th episode, it doesn't just end and credits start rolling. I believe it's the first time it actually says the title of the show, but it says the end of part 1, which made me think, like, wait, is there actually a few more episodes for season 1? I don't know whether there is or isn't. I have not seen anything stating that there is more episodes for season 1. So season 1 does seem to be a 6-episode show, and it did say season 2 is coming. I just thought it was interesting that it said part 1 has ended. So I will try and be as non-spoiler as possible with this review. I'm not going to go over absolutely everything, because I definitely think it's worth your time watching. You know, it's 6 episodes, they're an hour long each, but my god, is it fantastic. So what is it? Well, it's the end of the samurai. The samurai have done their last mission, basically, and now they're pretty much being told to stand down by the Japanese government. They're like, you know, the time of the sword is gone. You know, you are in a world that no longer needs you. You're obsolete, basically. So we open with basically the last mission that we're seeing samurai go on. And the way it's shot is fantastic as well, which I'll get back to. But it ends with you seeing what them basically trying to be wiped out. And then we go to our main guy. Now, I don't know any of their names. Like, I can't remember any of their names. And, of course, they're Japanese, so there's no point looking them up, because you'd be like, you know, buy a consonant so I can say that. But it's him with his family and his wife and his daughter. He's 2 kids. He's a son and a daughter. And the daughter and the mother are stricken with cholera. So it's during the cholera outbreak in Japan. So he goes and he's trying to earn money, and he's going to pawn shops. He's trying to sell his sword, but they won't accept the sword because they're like, it's not worth anything anymore, you know, because the samurai are finished. He's trying to open the sword, but he can't. You know, he's getting like PTSD, but he starts shaking all the time when he's trying to open it, and he thinks it's rusted, and that's why he can't pull the sword out, because when he pulls it halfway out, you see a bit of rust. So he's walking home and he sees this notice on a board, and there's people surrounding it, and it's for a job, it says, basically, where you can earn 100,000 whatever yen, whatever they use. And it's an illegal thing that's being put up. The cops show up, but he goes to it, and sure enough, it's this almost a game where I shouldn't really spoil it, because there is a massive twist with the game. However, once you enter the game, they give you 30 seconds to change your mind. So the guy comes in and goes, you have 30 seconds to leave now, because otherwise, once the door's shut, you're in the game. You cannot leave the game for under any circumstances. It results in penalties, severe penalties. You cannot leave. So you have 30 seconds to make your mind up. After that, no matter what happens, you are in the game. And you're to get from the area they're in to Tokyo. So they're to travel from there to Tokyo. And basically, they're in fights. Now, we find a big thing out about what the game is actually designed to do and stuff. There's some unbelievable twists and turns that happen in this show as well. You don't know who you can trust. You don't know, should you trust this person, should you not? You think you have something figured out, but then a twist happens where you were somewhat right, but nowhere near the way you thought it was going to happen, and with the people you thought it was going to. It's that type of maneuvering. It's fantastic. The action scenes, holy crap, are they fantastic. The choreography for the action scenes is unbelievable. So when you're watching shows, we reviewed a show recently. I don't think it was anything with Star Trek. I think it was maybe one of the last Marvel shows. Could have been the Ironheart or something, where the fight choreography was so bad that they didn't even change the angles of cameras. So when you see people throw and punch, you can see they're like a mile away. It actually might have been Daredevil, and they throw the punches and it's like a mile away, and yet these people are going out. It's like, that's terrible. The choreography for the fighting in this show is unbelievable, and it's all sword play as well. And it's interesting because there's our main guy has his sword, which he does eventually pull out, and when he pulls it out, he thought it's not rusted, and he thought it was rust. It was his fear that was stopping him from pulling it out. But there's another guy who's just like, he's a lunatic, an absolute. He has this massive sword. He looks like he should be in a video game. The sword is that big. It's insane. There's a guy who's an archer who does unbelievable things with the bows. There's interesting characters that show up that have connections to other things, which is great. There's a couple of girls. There's a young woman who showed up, who's a child basically, and our main guy kind of takes her under his wing to protect her for a reason. But you're kind of like, well, why is she there? You do find out, and that's the interesting thing as well. Each episode opens with you getting a bit of a backstory to who the main people are and the reasoning for joining this competition thing. And so we find out why she's there, but none of them realized what the game was or even what it was going to involve. That's why they were there. But then there's another girl who has a connection that we do find out, but you're like, a female samurai? And it does get explained that she was not accepted and all of this type of stuff, that, you know, they were going over her head and stuff and always putting her down. So there's a lot of interesting things. There's one guy as well who shows up, and I don't know whether or not the rest of the cast are actually small. This dude is a giant. Like, he's standing there and you think he's like normal, and then when he's walking through like the doorway, he has to duck down. You're like, how big is this guy? Like, for a Japanese dude, he's incredibly tall. But one of the things they do, and they do more than once in the show, is, if you know, remember the movie Extraction? Remember they did the one take shot of the action fight where you end up in the car and out of the car and stuff like that. The show opens with one of those shots. Now, whether they actually did it all in one take, I don't know, but if they didn't, it's seamless. But it tracks our hero all the way up and through the fight and everything. It is done so well. It's insane. You never lose sight of our main guy in this whole opening scene. And it happens a few times during some of the fights, and then it happens again with one of the main fights by the end, which the way that fight is shot and what's around it and stuff is stunning. It is one of the best fight scenes I've seen in a long time. It looks stunning. The only spoiler I'll give for that is, and it's not major, is so you know it when you'll see it, is fire. So think of that, and it is unbelievable the way it's shot and done. I cannot recommend this show enough, and it's insane that we're having to go to a Japanese program on Netflix over the Western shows, because the Western shows is just shoveling all the crap into it now. It's like, oh, this is the way you're supposed to think. This is just basic entertainment with a fantastic story, compelling characters that you get invested in right away. Fight choreography, some of the best I've seen, especially in a TV show, in a long time. The look of it, the way it's shot and framed, stunning. Can't recommend this show enough. So if you haven't checked it out, highly recommend checking it out. It's only 6 episodes, so it's not like you're wasting a crap ton of time, but it's fantastic. So if you have seen it, let me know what you think about it. And if you haven't seen it, go watch it and then come back and let me know what you think about it. So with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like and share and subscribe and all that good stuff. Cheers, and I shall catch you in the next one.